Review for Knox Goes Away, starring Michael Keaton and actually directed by Michael Keaton. So it's an interesting premise. It's a thriller. That's what it says. I guess it's a thriller. But when a contract killer has a rapidly evolving form of dementia, he's offered an opportunity to redeem himself by saving the life of his estranged adult son. So I got to give the movie this. I've never seen um, a similar premise to a movie. He's a hitman, which doesn't say here, but he is a hitman. Oh, contract killer. Okay, so he's a contract killer, hitman, and he. The movie opens up with him having kind of dinner with his partner, and then he says, "I have to go away for a few days." He won't tell him why. His partner's played by Ray McKinnon, who was in Deadwood. Really good actor. So then he learns he has this very fast form of dementia. It's not Alzheimer's, as they say. As the doctor says. And he's like, "How long do I have?" And he's like, weeks. Basically until it's just taken over. So he's like, "Do you have anyone that could help you, like a family?" And he's like, "No." He has a son, but he's been a really bad father. So his son is played by who was Cyclops in the X-Men movies. James Marsden. Al Pacino's in this. He plays like his boss who hires him to kill people, basically. And yeah, so then they go on a hit. This is like right in the beginning, and he's having a dementia episode. He's not quite there, but he's going in. His partner's going in through the back, and then he shoots the guy in the shower, and he shoots a woman he's showering with also, and then his partner opens up the door, and then he kills him accidentally. So he knows he's cracking up. He even told his partner before they went in that this will be his last job for a while. Too bad he didn't not do this job, just let his partner handle it. But and then the rest of the movie goes on, and his son um enters the picture. He shows up to his house and his hand's all bleeding, and he asks for his help, and that kind of sets up the rest of the movie. So overall, I really liked it. It's a really good premise for a movie. It's directed by Michael Keaton. I don't think he's directed anything before. He's always fun to watch. This movie is definitely like, you watch it for Michael Keaton. Everything else is, it's okay. Al Pacino is good. All the acting's good. It's nice to see Al Pacino in a role. He's in the movie throughout it. He's kind of helping him, even though he's like, you trust me, but I'm a crook, right? So he's kind of joking with him, because throughout the movie he's trying to gather all of his money, cash out, and he's going to give it to certain people. So, and one is his son. But I think the directions, it's decent. It's nothing incredible. There's a lot of fade in and outs I found, but trying to show some passage of time, I guess. I thought maybe they did that a little too much, but I enjoyed the movie. It's a great idea for a script. And I'll get into spoilers now. So spoilers, his son shows up, he's bleeding. He ended up killing this older guy who was sleeping with his daughter. He went to his house, and the guy, he says he just wouldn't shut up. He just wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't apologize for what he did. So he pulled a knife out and he killed him. And there's blood everywhere. And his son goes to him because he's like, look, I don't know what to do. You're the hitman. And earlier he said his son found out what he did, and that's why he won't talk to him anymore. So he agrees to help him. Then there's a woman that he's been sleeping with, Michael Keaton. He pays her. He's been sleeping with her for 4 or 5 years every week. So he cares for her too. So he's going to give them his money to his ex-wife, his son, and this lady. The cops, are investigating the death of the first people that Keaton killed, and his and Ray McKinnon. So they're kind of on his trail. They suspect him, and he's also this like genius. He has like a PhD, I think they said, in history and in English literature. So he's very well read. He keeps recommending books to that woman, Cassie Moronez. And then there's that going on. And in the end, this woman's so greedy because he mentions to her he's cashing out. And I swear he mentioned to her that she's on the list too. But then she double crosses him with these 3 other guys, or I think it was 3 other guys and her. He's still like a great hitman, ex-military. So he kills all them. He's going to kill her because she double crosses him. She's trying to steal all his money. And then he's like, so how much were you going to get? And she's like, I get a fourth. And they get the other. And he's like, well, your name was on the list and you would have got a third of what I own. So she totally messes that up. And I swear he mentioned that to her, but that I was going to give you a third, but she just can't help herself. So, and then, Al Pacino's in it. Great little performance from him. I really like Al Pacino. I think he's a really good actor who kind of just got almost like consumed by his roles. Kind of became a caricature, but in this, I think he's just, playing it straight. He's this old, I don't want to say mob boss, but old criminal who puts out hits. It's almost like, is this like the later years of Michael Corleone? I don't know. I was kind of thinking that, but yeah, and he keeps him on track. He's like, I need you to keep me on track. He tells him about his condition. He tells him what happened to Ray McKinnon. He feels terrible about it, but he's like, but heck, in like a month, I won't even remember it. So he's keeping him on track. He has this plan to exonerate his son, which was really interesting because it almost seemed like he was planting evidence at his son's house. But in the end, there's a nice little twist about that. That what he's actually doing is planting evidence, trying to set up his son, so that then they'll figure, and then at the end they figure out that, oh, he was actually planting evidence on his son for a hit that Michael Keaton did. Is what the cops think. I thought that was a nice twist. Because I was like, is that what he's doing? And in the end, he did. And his son gets arrested because there's all this evidence against them. There's like the bloody clothes that are in the dumpster behind his house. There's the knife, which he puts like in a ventilator shaft in his house because he sneaks in. And then his son is arrested and everything, and he thinks he's totally screwed, and they think they got, dead to rights. And then Michael Keaton goes and sees him, and then he's like, what is this? I came to you for help. And then he's like, oh, years ago, I went away to jail for over 6 years for the IRS. He said, I know that you turned me in. He denies it. Um, but then that gives him motive for setting him up. So I don't know. When you see the movie, that'll make sense. Yeah, it was a nice little sleight of hand, I would say. But but yeah, I don't have much more to say. It's a solid little movie. Um, well done by Michael Keaton. It was photographed in December 2022 in Los Angeles. Marisha Gay Harden is in it, plays his ex-wife. They previously starred together in Desperate Measures, 1998. So he has a nice scene with her. He like shows up to her house to kind of tell her that you're going to be getting a massive paycheck. And then she's like, well, like, why? And he's like, well, I'm going away. And he doesn't tell her that he has this condition. So I'm not sure why he doesn't, but yeah, and then in the end, he does. His son gets a massive paycheck in the mail. She does too. Cassie uh, doesn't, because she totally blew it and double crossed him. So he's like, okay, he almost kills her, but he doesn't. And in the end, he sends her all of his books. So I thought that was kind of nice, but it's kind of like, man, that's so messed up. You double cross a man with dementia who's like, they obviously kind of care about each other. I don't know. I thought that was very cold, but um, but yeah, he sends her all of his books because he every week he recommends her a book. She reads it. She comes back next week. So, but yeah, that's about it. Good cast, nice, strong, small cast, but very good. Decent direction. Like I said, there's a lot of fade ins and outs. Thought they used that a little too much, but yeah, if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. Really helps the channel and the algorithm and everything. And I guess that's about it, though. Check it out. Knox Goes Away 2023. See you next time.